Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's super late. It is 10:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as I'm recording this, so super late. I'm so sorry. It's been a day. Um, I almost just curled up and crawled and got in bed, but I was like, no, I have not missed a day. I will not miss a day, and as long as I do this before midnight, I will still have not missed a day. Um, so I'm gonna do GH first. I know normally I do Beyond the Gates first, but it's because I watched Beyond the Gates, do my video, then I watch GH, do that video. I'm just gonna do the GH video because I just watched that, so it's fresher in my mind, and then I'll go back to Beyond the Gates. Um, oh shit. Today is Is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Thursday, March 27th. Um, it was okay episode of GH actually. I don't want to be too hard on it. I think it was a good setup episode. I'm interested to see what happened next. What's gonna happen next. Kind of predictable, but also I don't know. I don't know how far it's gonna go. How crazy is Christina gonna be? But we start the episode. My hands are dry. I'm gonna get some lotion while I talk. You guys need some good lotion. Dr. Teal's. This is really good stuff. It's got sage in it. All right. So we start with Diane. She walks in her office with Alexis, their law office, and finds Alexis on the floor thinking something is wrong, but it's a false alarm. Alexis is just laying there. She read an article about trying to meditate. I was like, okay, writers, that was funny when y'all had Maxie do it and Felicia find her, but not this much. You know, I already seen it. Guys, I'm not in a good mood today, tonight, for many different reasons, but I don't want that to affect my video, but I feel like I should warn you. Because I feel like yesterday I was so up, and now here we are. That tends to be how it goes, right? Alright, so I thought Diane looked nice. I don't really like her wig. I try not to talk about women's wigs because this did not grow out of my scalp, if you cannot tell. Which, I don't try to hide that I wear wigs a lot of the times. Like, you will never see me with like my edges laid or looking like I want to make people think it grew out of my scalp. It's protective style. I have a lot of hair under here. I just keep it healthy by not having to do it every day, like a lot of black women. Why am I? Oh, I don't like Diane's wig. But her face, her makeup looked really good. Her eyes were like beautiful, popping. I was like, okay, I can halfway deal with it. So then we see Lucky and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is walking into. Is it still Charlie's or did they change the name? I think it's still Charlie's. I remember being when Christina took over, I was afraid that she was gonna name it like Adela's or some shit, but I don't think anything like that ever happened. I think it's still Charlie's. She just made it over, and it should look exactly the same to me. I don't, I don't know, because they even had like a grand opening. I was like, what is different? They got like a blue light in the corner or something? I don't understand. But anyway, Elizabeth walks in. Oh no, I'm sorry. I skipped ahead. I was so confused. My first note is about Elizabeth and Lucky. Elizabeth is on the phone with Lucas and they're talking about Portia being blackmailed. All right, then Elizabeth walks into Charlie's and Lucky has a table set up for her. And I paused the TV and groaned because I don't really like on these shows. This is not a real life thing. In real life, I do appreciate like small gestures and think the little things are sweet. And I would love to like a date, a picnic, like the little things, because like in real life for a guy to put that, even it seems like a small amount of effort, it shows that he knows what I like, because I like intimate things like that. I like a museum date anyway. But on these TV shows, I don't like it when these women walk into these settings where the man has done like the minimum and they're like, oh no, you did all this for me. And so that's what I thought was about to happen. Like the same, if you guys watch Beyond the Gates too, like when Bill had that the little ass table in the corner set up for Haley. She was like, what did I do to deserve this? Then he pulled out the jewelry so I could get it. I don't even like jewelry like that. But that's what I was afraid Elizabeth was going to do. And then, damn if she didn't say, what did I do to deserve all this? I was like, girl, just eat the chicken parmesan. Stop. Just say thank you. This is sweet. Don't act like you don't deserve it. Like, we can't keep rewarding, like, small things. And then, because that's what you're going to get. If you are overwhelmed by this little ass shit, then that's what you're gonna keep getting. I'm sorry, but I did tell you I was in a bad mood. You know, I might rewatch GH tomorrow to see if my disposition changes when I'm not feeling so. I'm so sorry if I give y'all negative energy. I got my lotion with the spray, with the sage. I got sage spray. I burned some sage before I started this. Like, I tried to make it better, and it's not working. So forgive me, please. And if nobody watches this, I understand. One, because it's so late, but two, also like, I don't know if anybody wants to tune in to like, and that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. Yeah, so she said, what did I do to deserve all this? I was like, deserve all what? Dinner at his job, girl? What? But then Lucky just said, I wanted an excuse to see you. So that was fine. Yeah, chicken parmesan. He said the chicken parmesan was from Lorenzo's. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of cute. Because I thought Lucky meant he cooked it. Because I don't know if people, like, especially newer viewers, know Lucky's name, he's not Lucky. He's not even Luke. He's Lucas. Lucas Lorenzo Spencer is Lucky's full name. So I thought when he said the chicken parm for Lorenzo's, he meant like he made it at home or some shit. Turns out Lorenzo's is a restaurant in New York, and I don't know if that's actually the restaurant they went to, but then later we see like all these flashbacks of a montage, so it may have been a nice nod to the past. Maybe that's why they picked that restaurant to eat there, because of the Lorenzo name. I don't remember. You know, I was watching them, but I can't remember yesterday. Let alone what they. But you know what? The crazy thing is, I say that, but then if someone starts talking about a storyline, a storyline that resonated with me from 20, 30 years ago, I can read that shit off like it was nothing. So it's just interesting what our brain tends to hold on to. That's why they say it's random as hell. But if you know, Alzheimer's and dementia is so common nowadays, and you know, once someone gets older, sometimes it's neither one of those. It's just like the memory fades. But one of the best things you can do for someone, besides, well, that's a whole other thing. I'm talking about music, like playing music from when they were younger, will, you know, kind of not necessarily sedate them, but calm them down. That's not why y'all watching this, but I've definitely made playlists and told my kids what music to play if I'm not present. I got a 90s playlist, I got a 2000s playlist, I got a 2010 playlist, I got a right now playlist. I was like, just don't be surprised if I'm in the nursing room and I jump up and start dancing. I was like, y'all put on Juvenile. I have a, no, let's stop. That's too much. All right. I might save that joke for one of the lives. If y'all are watching this and you want to know what the joke is, ask me about Juvenile. and now I'm hyping up the joke, and it might not live up to expectation. What am I even talking about? Yeah, so we see Lucky and Liz still together, and throughout the episode, they have like flashbacks of their real time, which I do appreciate what General Hospital does. I love it when we get to not just hear about the history, but see the actual footage. And we got the same Elizabeth and the same Lucky right now, so I do like that we could do that. It was cute. Lucky plays music from the sound system of a mixtape he had made for her. He said he also found the hotel that they had stayed in when they were on a trip to New York. He wants to take another trip to New York. And like I said, everything was cute, and them reconnecting is cute, but I don't feel it. And I wish, as much as we have these scenes with them dancing around and being cute together in the flashbacks, I wish they had conversations. I wish they would have conversations about their history. And not just in the sense of like, oh, remember when we did this? Remember when we did that? Like, about, like, dang, I still can't believe I fucked your brother. Like, real shit. The shit that, like, came in between them. To show that they've healed and they're over it, because I feel like that's the mature thing to do at their age, but that's not what we're getting. Then Elizabeth has to go to work and says, oh, because last time they slept in that hotel, Lucky slept on the floor, Elizabeth slept in a bed, but I don't remember this, but apparently she didn't want him to be alone on the floor, so she got down behind him in the floor and was the big spoon. I was like, why you didn't just tell me to get in the bed? Y'all got a perfectly good bed right there. We both gonna have back problems. And I get they was younger then, but I still want to sleep in well, I don't know. College was weird. Um, but Elizabeth says this time nobody's sleeping on the floor. So they are planning their trip. And I guarantee you that will be better than when Elizabeth went out of town with Finn and they pulled maple syrup from trees in Canada. Which, as much as I say I make that face, actually thinking about doing that with somebody, like a romantic partner, getting your own syrup from the tree, I actually find that kind of very, very attractive. But it wasn't attractive when they did it. But I think it'd be cool if I did. All right, so then we have Isaiah and Jordan. They're in her living room. They apparently just finished like a 5-mile hike. They're doing their flirty thing. It's cute. A little sweaty, but still cute. I'm like, take your clothes off. Y'all already sweaty. Why not? Or go take a shower. But they talk. A lot of talking. Jordan tells him that the councilman, I cannot remember his name, I want to call him Daniel Colson, wants Jordan to distance herself from Laura. And what bothers her the most is that she agrees with it. And at first I thought where they were going was that Jordan was going to say, like, her and Laura kind of fake animosity, so it would appear like Jordan was taking her job, but that they could still be in cahoots to get the upper hand on the councilman and Drew, instead of like them working together and still losing out and losing that seat to someone else. But through the conversation with Isaiah, we learned that there are some things that Jordan actually agrees about with the congressman about, and wishes that Laura wouldn't always see the best in Sonny, which I'm like, she just started seeing the best in Sonny again like a week ago. She ain't been right with Sonny for a few months, but I know he blaming that on Sonny beating that poor helpless Cyrus in that church because he was off his meds. Yeah, and they talk about like the pier and the promenade and all that stuff. I'm not doing that. Basically, the gist is what I told you. Jordan does say she would choose Sonny and Laura over Drew and Sidwell in the councilman. But if she were mayor, she wouldn't she wouldn't side with Sonny. Brick shows up at Jordan's door bringing her flowers, just showing up at her door. Like, can I tell y'all, I don't care if you got flowers, I don't care what you have in your hand, I don't know, unless it's like my favorite food. Maybe then it would be okay, but I don't really like unsolicited visits. I don't like unsolicited phone calls. Don't just call me, don't just show up at my door. Text me. Text me, first of all, and see, am I at home? Am I up for company? Would I like a visit? Text me before you call me. Text me and say, hey, is it okay to call? I know people don't always believe me, but like, I'm an introvert. I am very much an introverted recluse. One of my favorite poems I wrote is called Reclusive, because I am reclusive, because I am exclusive with my time and my energy. My favorite place is right here in this house, or if it's garden season, I have time for my garden, out back in my garden. Other than that, like, I don't really trying to be out here. I'm really trying to be out here that much. People are crazy, especially now. I did my time out in the world. I like being at home, which nobody asked me, so sorry. But yeah, Brick just showed up at her house with flowers. I guess that's nice, but I didn't see it that way. Jordan does ask Brick. Brick sees Isaiah there. Jordan asks Brick not to say anything for personal reasons. Brick agrees, but does say he heard questionable things about Isaiah's family, or is it Isaiah Gannon? So we've been wondering if he is related to someone on One Life to Live because of the last name Gannon, and he black. And I mean, in the real world, I wouldn't assume anything, but in soap opera land, you got two black people with the same last name. They gotta be family. So I don't think he's gonna be related to Hank Gannon. I don't know, but I can see Brick saying that related to either of the Gannons would be shady. So if it's RJ Gannon, fine ass RJ Gannon, whoo. He was like a bad criminal, like a mobster type of guy. Versus Hank Gannon and Nora Gannon, they were like lawyers. So I can see where Brick wouldn't care for either one of those. So I'm interested to see though. I thought that they were gonna make him Isaiah connected to Kai, but we'll see. We have Felicia at the hospital. She's talking to Sasha. They are in scene, out of scene, back and forth. But she's really trying to get Sasha to put Jason on the baby's information so that they can have the medical history. Sasha's like, no, I'm good. He's not involved, even though everybody knows. Felicia's like, yeah, but he might change his mind, and you don't want to end up going to court. He might want his name on a birth certificate. You really need to talk to him. And Sasha, she's like, and like we know that like Jason isn't the father, but I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that story. Like I really hate GH for this, and I know Chad left. Chad chose to leave, and I get that. And I respect his right to do that. And I need him to hurry up and get through it. No, that's mean. I want him back, though. I want Michael back, and I want Chad back playing him, because I prayed for Sasha and Michael to do this. And they finally did it. And that was like his last episode. I was like, why would you do this to me? Like, why would you give me everything I wanted and just snatch it away? So, I don't want to see Sasha and Jason raising their babies together. I want Michael. I want Chad. I don't think I've ever said I want Chad before. I don't even know any Chads, but I want that Chad. I want Chad doing back. So we see Ava at no. I don't remember if Ava was at Nina's or Nina was at Ava's, but they were together. Nina's telling Ava that she feels better about the stuff with Drew now because of her plans with Portia. And my daughter actually said, well, what about your plan with Carly? I was like, valid question. Ava's in a good mood to drop Avery off. Nina was like, and Ava, because Ava was like, oh, I know Sonny's big secret is, so she's happy. She's practically dancing. But I would feel like she should be more worried about how Sonny might act, because she won't trying to get him them pills. But like, she's just excited to taunt him. All right, so when Isaiah and Jordan were talking, he missed a call from Christina, and she left a voicemail on his phone. Why is her name in his phone is Christina Corinthos Davis? And then when she called him, she was like, this is Christina Corinthos Davis. Can't you just say Christina at this point? People don't talk like that and give their full government name. What? But she leaves a voicemail saying, I just need to know about my father's heart condition and what's the worst case scenario. I was like, bitch, death? What the fuck do you mean? What do you think the worst case scenario of a heart condition is? So annoying. I was genuinely mad. I was like, oh, you fucking idiot. Google that shit then. Like, why are you bothering him with that? But anyway, I'll say but anyway and a lot. Then we see Molly coming to Christina. She misses her sister. And then she's still at Sonny's. Christina's still at Sonny's. Molly shows up there. She says that Molly tells Christina that people that she had loved are gone now. And for a second, I was like, who? And then I said, oh, damn, Sam. And then I said, oh, TJ. And it's funny because Molly mentions Sam, but she doesn't mention TJ. Because he doesn't exist anymore. Christina says she's missed her too, but doesn't know how they can reconcile. Molly suggests they take small steps, get some noodle Buddha. Shout out to Sam and Jason's love story. And maybe watch a legal movie so that it can piss Alexis off that they don't use the real law. I thought that did make me chuckle, like not out loud, but like internally, because I can see Alexis getting pissed off at something like that. The same way we get pissed off when we watch a show. Then Ava shows up with Avery. Avery done got tall, y'all. She was like up to here. I was like, oh my God, she about to be a teenager. Like, how old is Avery even? She's getting big. And I don't mean like, oh, she's turning into a young woman. No, she's still a little girl. But she's tall. She's gotten tall. They grow so fast. But I was happy to see Avery. Especially, like, to see how big she's getting. I don't know why. It's like, this is my baby. I've seen her since she was a baby. And now she a big baby. I love when GH just keeps the same child actors and we get to watch them grow. Because you do feel connected to them. Christina asks Molly to take Avery into the playroom with Pilar. They go back there. That playroom must be soundproof because Donna ain't hear Sonny and Ava yelling, Christina yelling, nothing the other day. So that's out of a playroom. And then it's got padded walls too, like bulletproof walls. I don't even know if that exists. But if anybody should have them, it should be Sunny. Too bad the penthouse didn't have bomb-proof walls. Isn't that too soon? I'm sorry, Michael. I love you. Ava asked Christina, she said she was hoping Sunny was going to be there. I was like, Ava, stop it. She can't help herself, though. Ava asked Christina if Sunny is unwell, because if so, Avery should be with her full time, and she thinks that a judge would agree, and sauntered out of there in her typical Ava fashion. Christina was seething. I didn't feel bad for Christina. I laughed at Ava because I love them when they give Maura West room to play. She's so good. Alright, so then we have Sunny and Jason. Sunny tells Jason about Ava keeping the pills from him. But Sunny, again, is accountable. Said it was his fault. He let her get to him, but he chose to fuck with her. He was a little less honest with Jason than he was with everybody else, which I just think that he doesn't care what Jason thinks of him. He does care what Laura thinks of him. And Christina, he cares what they think of him. So he gave them like the best version of the story from his perspective. Brick comes in a purple suit. I said, you are not Prince. No, I love Prince. Purple Rain is like one of my favorite songs. And when it does, like the whole Purple Rain soundtrack. And I like Diamonds and Pearls. I like the one Sinead O'Connor saying Nothing Compares to You. Prince wrote that, if y'all don't know. So yeah, I'm not shading Prince. I'm shading Brick. I don't really like Stephen A. Smith. But he did find, the Brick did find a person who did the bomb work. He's in Toronto. I don't remember his name. I didn't get it down. But he's like a hired professional. So not really the person they want, just the person they need to talk to find out who actually hired him. Jason says he'll go after him. Sunny says he's going too. I said, are you stupid or are you dumb? What are you doing? What makes you think that would be a good idea? And then Jason says all the same stuff that I said. Like, what happens if your heart stops beating? What if the pills don't work? What if duh. But Sunny is not trying to hear it. He's like, it'll be a stress reliever once we find him. I'm like, all right, that makes sense, Sunny. Then Sunny goes to Alpha gun box to get the gun. It's like, we're gonna handle, I don't know what he said. We're gonna handle business, whatever. And I was like, how does that work? Because you going to Toronto. You know what? I assumed they were going to fly and go through. I was like, even if they have a private plane, they got to go through TSA. So how they taking their gun? But maybe they going to drive because it's New York. They can drive to Toronto. But still, I don't know how you getting them guns in. I don't know how that works. I've never been to Canada. I've never been out of the country, out of my country. I'm in, because y'all can't tell, I'm in America. And now would not be the time because I don't think any other country want Americans in it. But don't blame us, guys. It's not our fault. We just live here. You should actually feel bad for us because there's nothing we can do about this shit. We just sit back and watching the updates on the news like, oh, okay, damn. All right, we have Brooklyn and Chase. Brooklyn tells Chase that Lulu quit because of him. Chase says he wants to protect her. Brooklyn wants to protect him, kind of from himself. Chase talks about the other side of him, that just because he doesn't show it all the time doesn't mean big bad Chase don't exist. Chase says most of the time he can control himself, but sometimes, and I was like, but that's not really what I want to hear a cop say, Chase. That's kind of dangerous. We see Stella at the hospital with Lucas to take the kidney and blood tests. More information about the kidney stuff that they did yesterday. Love it. They reiterated that 90%, pretty much the same dialogue from yesterday, today. And I don't know what it was, but when I heard the 90%, I was like, ugh, they talking to me. So I really do feel like whenever I have to go to the doctor again or whenever I schedule my next checkup, I'm gonna talk to the doctor about that. Because 90% is a high number. 90% of people who have kidney disease don't find out until it's too late. And I think I talked about this in another video about my neighbor with dialysis. So yeah, so you guys too. Especially, I know it's hard if you don't have insurance, but there are so many doctors, at least where I live now. So we get, and I know a lot of cities are like this. So in my city, you have like one health organization that owns all the hospitals and has bought up a lot of the independent doctors, which is horrible, right? But because of the monopoly on things, they do feel the need to give back to the community. So there's a lot of I won't say a lot, but there are places to go for either free or based on income health care. So if you are in a city with a big chain of hospitals and maybe you think you can't afford it, just maybe call around. Maybe you can. So maybe you can get that those tests paid for, so you can see, because 90% is a real high number. So even though it felt like corny and like took us out of the show, I just really appreciate it when GH does those things. I wish we did that more. They could do that for 3 to 5 minutes an episode, and I wouldn't be mad. I would appreciate it because the show is General Hospital. All right, then we see Rick. I cannot believe I'm 25 minutes in. I didn't think I was gonna be 10 minutes, y'all. I'm shocked. All right, so Rick is apologizing to Alexis, which Alexis had apparently invited Rick over to have a truce anyway. But Rick says it's unfair to Molly. And I was like, huh? I was just as confused as Alexis. I was like, what kind of game is Rick playing? But he gives Cody the credit, so then I understand. Oh, that's what this is for. So we have a reason for Molly to go to Cody to thank him. But Alexis accepts Rick's apology, and he says, sorry. Alexis accepts Rick's apology, and he says he accepts hers. She was like, I ain't apologized to you. He was like, oh. And she didn't, but Diane came in and was like, hey, y'all should just shake hands. It's good enough. Rick leaves. Molly comes in. Alexis explains what happened with their truce and that to give Cody the credit. So setting up that scene between them two. It'll probably be in the stables because, that's where Cody lives. Yeah, as I said that, I realized I wasn't being ironic. Cody really does live in the fucking stable. He does. He lives with the horses. I don't know why that tickles me so. So then we see Ava getting home, and Rick is there waiting for her. I think he had a drink. And they make a big deal about him parking in her spot, so she had to park on the street. And I was like, what are we doing? And then Christina showed up knocking on the door, and I was like, oh shit. Christina about to fuck with Rick's car, thinking it was Ava's. So I'm imagining that Rick is going to have Molly in his car. Either Rick is going to have Molly in his car and they get hurt because she's trying to fuck with Ava, or it could just be Rick getting hurt and they found out Molly found out that Christina hurt her dad. But it would be more impactful if Molly was in the car too. Maybe Molly will use the car. Maybe Molly will use Rick's car to pick up Alexis for the movie night thing. Maybe Christina will hurt her mom and her sister. Yeah, we'll see. All right, and that's the last thing I have. Can't believe I did 28 minutes. That's crazy. Thank you to anyone who is watching this. I know it's super late. It's gonna be tomorrow by the time you see it. So I gotta hurry up so I can do Beyond the Gates before it's midnight. Thank you guys so much. I'm so sorry. Bear with me. I know you do not have to give me your time, so I appreciate you very much. You're long and prosper.